What's up? It's your boy Big Papita 396 coming to you live from Second Lunch. Yeah. So I wanted to make this video to talk about working by the book. It's a conversation I had with a fellow colleague, and we're sitting up here talking about working by the book. Because often it gets brought up that we're going to have these visits. We're going to be examined by corporate. Sometimes corporate even shows up at the dump sometimes. Right? And naturally drivers feel intimidated, or they have this fear when they see a group of people that are from corporate, that are visiting, that are doing their audits, that are coming up with their grades and assessments of the yard. So what I'm saying is, by the book is the only way to work, because when you work by the book, you don't really have to worry about being scrutinized in a way that would make you feel uncomfortable. They're going to look at you. They're going to examine you. But if you're on point, meaning you got your boots on, the proper boots, not those roofing boots, the 6-inch, you got your boots, you got your headlamp, right? You got everything. You're on point. You go to the truck in the morning, you check your dipstick, you do everything, right? By the book. I'm trying to figure out, there's something I'm trying to figure out by the book. Like, it's a few things that I'm working on right now. I'm trying to work as close as I can to being by the book. Do I mess up? Yes, of course. But I'm trying to practice everything that they say by the book, right? We've had a few incidents this year where drivers have went to stops and the container was too heavy to handle. So they pull it, they jerk it, and then something happens, maybe an injury. This is not to mock the driver that got injured or hurt, but by the book, the company handbook, when you get to a situation where a container is too heavy, you cannot move the container. You're supposed to call, what do they call it, hauler call. We got a new system where you press the little phone button, it contacts dispatch. Dispatch calls you. They answer, and you tell them to stop, all the information, and you let them know, I cannot handle this container because it's too heavy to service. They put their notes, you take a snapshot, and then you take off. That's what the company wants you to do. They don't want you handling containers that are too heavy. But sometimes we don't know until we pull it or we yank it. That's why they say, try to push. Sometimes we get in situations where we can't really push. Sometimes it's inevitable. Injuries, accidents, these things are inevitable. But we're having issues with backing. And this is something that I'm practicing. I'm practicing waiting. Sometimes we back up when we don't even look at the monitor. So now I'm practicing, wait, hold up, wait. 3 seconds, 4 seconds, wait. Okay, I'm clear, but everything's clear behind me. Let me look to the sides. Let me look at these mirrors. Let me make sure, like my life counts on it, right? Or somebody else's life counts on it. Trying to work by the book as much as you can. The helmets, they want us to be dumping with the helmets on. So I've been practicing dumping with my helmet on when I'm outside. Right? I've been trying to do every little thing that I could do as close as I can to be by the book. Right? If in other words, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. That's what somebody named Sugar Free, I don't know. Some guy named Sugar Free said that. I don't know what he does for a living, but that's a quote that I heard, but I think it's true. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. I just examined what they want us to do for the for the pre-trip. I have the paper in my truck. What the paper says is how we're supposed to do our pre-trip, how they want us to conduct our pre-trip. And a lot of us are struggling on this specific part, right? So they blow the horn. Boom. This is after the walk around. You pump the brake down to 85. And then you build it all the way back up to the cutout. Right? You hear the sometimes you hear the before you see the needle still rising, right? You're once you hear that cut out, usually corporate, according to this paper, they want you to do another check. You're supposed to pump the brakes back down to 100 and let the needle rise after the cutout. So once you do the cutout, you pump the brake to 85. I'm sorry, not 85. That was the first time. The second time after the cutout, you pump it down to 100. And then I think it's 1,000 RPMs, and the needle should move. Right? Once it moves, you're good. They blow the horn, static. Have your windows up. When they blow that horn after the cutout, have your windows up. Don't have your windows down. Have your windows up. Twist the parking brake knob. Cut it back. All right, boom. The one after that. Twist the ignition to the on part. Push the parking brake in. Right? So now we're on static. Pay attention to your needles. Sometimes they're looking at you to see if you're looking at your needles. Look at your air tanks after you press it. Okay? Blow the horn again. Apply. You're going to push your foot all the way on the brake and you're going to hold it for 1 minute. Look at your needles. Make sure that your needles aren't moving. Okay? So I guess this is a dynamic. After 1 minute, boom. All right, we pumping the brakes down. We got to have audible, visible. Audibly hear something, visibly see something. Right? And you're supposed to keep punching that brake until it pops out. Boom, boom, pow. Now, supposed to build the air back up. Build the air all the way back up. Build it up to 100. I think the RPMs are supposed to be 1,400 RPMs, I believe, is the max. Build it up. Once it gets to 100, get out. Remove the chocks. Get back in. Cut your PTO on. So you're going to operate your forks. Move your arms. Check your packer. And then After that, or if you're gonna check your sidearms, check your sidearms. Boom. When it's safe to do so, and it's time for you to go, you're supposed to do a tug test where you put the truck in drive with the with the parking brake applied, and give it no more than, I believe, 1,000 RPMs in second gear. In second gear. So the truck is supposed to hold. Then after that, you pull forward and you stop the truck. As long as the truck doesn't move left or right, I believe that's your service brake test. Blow the horn and get out of here. Check your rear mirrors and vamonos. It's just try to be as on point as you are, because these little things you're going to be annoyed by when they call it out. You know, another thing is trying to keep a clean truck. When you get to the dump, you're supposed to empty that stuff out. I have a habit of going on my passenger side and throwing whatever stuff is on the side, whatever stuff is, whatever crap, cups, bags, whatever food, whatever crap. Just I try to get that stuff out, because you never know when somebody's going to come to the yard and just check your truck or just take a gander. I just heard about a driver. They just opened up his door and they're like, "Oh, you smoke cigarettes in here? You smoke cigarettes in here?" They're inspecting his truck for cigarette butts, right? So it's like, it's just as drivers, it's a little bit alarming or fearful to see, like, man, these people are going to come over here. They're going to check on us. They're going to look at this or they're going to look at that. But it's okay. It's perfectly normal. The drivers, you guys are always under the watch. You're always looking at you. Brakes. I'm taking a break right now. Inside me, there's a Barbetto that's raging. I want to just continue to keep working. I don't want to stop. I want to keep working so I can finish earlier and look good, right? It's a Barbetto inside me, but I have to tell the Barbetto inside me, no, stop. Take your breaks. You're not getting paid for that break. You see a list now. I think they have a list where they're putting whoever violated the lunch breaks right next to the time clock. You're legally protected to take your breaks. You're legally protected to take your breaks. And a lot of us, we're giving that away just because. Like I say, that inner Barbetto, I have it inside of me too. I have to police it. I have to say, hey, no, not today. Not today. Right? And another thing is, when are we supposed to take our breaks, right? I'll get into that a whole nother video. But try to be on point as much as you can. I used to be a person that was not punctual. I'm a lot punctual. I'm very punctual now. I'm very punctual now, or as close as I can be. A lot better than what I was. I try to be by the book as much as I possibly can. And it's difficult. It's hard sometimes. You hear some of the managers say, "Oh, you don't want these people to come over here. You don't want them to inspect. You don't want them to check." Do your work like somebody's always looking at you, because they're already looking at you. Whether it's somebody directly behind you or somebody looking at a tablet, they're like, "Oh, he's right here on this street and that street. He's been sitting here for this many minutes. He's been doing this much for this time. He's been picking up this many yards for this many hours. They already know this stuff. They already know this stuff. So we have to be by the book. And trust me, it's difficult sometimes. It's very difficult sometimes. When we out here and we take breaks and we have to leave the truck, we're supposed to put our wheel chocks on the truck. We're supposed to cut the battery off. Take our keys with us. Being by the book. When you get to the dump, put your hard hat on. If you got some safety goggles, put the safety goggles on. It's tough. It's tough. It takes some adjusting. It takes some discipline. It's hard. Trust me, I'm on this discipline journey too. It's hard. But these are the things that we need to do. These are the things that we need to do. When you're traveling to and from places, try to be by the book. If you, all my residential guys, put the pin. If you got a pin, put a pin inside the thing so the arm doesn't go out. If it's a locking thing, a locking device where you hook it on a locking device, hook it on a locking device. You know, all my commercial guys, make sure your arms are all the way up. You know, you're not pulling to the scale with your arms down. You pull up to the scale with your arms all the way up. If you have to use the axle bags, use the axle bags. Right? Another thing is reporting. They ding us all the time in the morning. Why is this driver going over here to the shop? He should have reported that last night. I keep a notebook with me. And I write down everything that I notice because I don't want to get to the yard and forget about something. Sometimes we're busy and we forget about the check engine light cutting on and cutting off throughout the day. We forget about little things that we didn't report, but they show up the next morning. A gash on a tire, low tire pressure. Then in the morning, when you come, they say, "Oh, you didn't report this, so we got to speak to you." Now they're gonna call you in the office and they're gonna speak to you about something you didn't do, something you didn't report. Try to be by the book as much as you possibly can. Try to be. Report everything. Your air conditioner's not working. This is in our contract. Every truck is supposed to have an operating and working air conditioner. Report the air conditioner. Report the heater. Report everything. Report as much as you possibly can. Try to be as close as you can to being by the book as much as you possibly can be. They have a thing where they say, okay, sometimes they're going to come in a post trip. All right. And a post trip, they want us doing a dynamic test. It's a certain order that they want it done. I would like to get some kind of paperwork on that. I'm going to try to see if I get some paperwork on the structure and the order that how they want us to do the post trip. But I know that they want us to do the dynamic test and they want us to check the fluids. I check my transmission fluids in the morning. I check my transmission fluid in the afternoon as well. But, you know, try to be as close as you can to be by the book. Check your windshield wipers. That's another thing that they do the inspection and we don't check our windshield wipers, or they jot it down. So try to be as close as you possibly can to being by the book as much as you possibly can. That way, when they show up, you're not one of these drivers that has that intensified fear. Just be on point. And I'm practicing. I'm a work in progress. I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I'm just saying I wanted to make this video to say, try to be by the book as much as you possibly can, because it's going to end up saving you in the long run. If they question you or they come at you or they criticize you, okay, it was my understanding that we were supposed to do this. Is there a new policy or is there a new way that you want me to do it? Let me know and I'll do it the way that you guys want me to do it. So that was the purpose of this video. Try to be as close as you can to being by the book. You don't got to throw any other drivers under the bus. Just work on you individually as a person. Try to be as close as you can to being by the book. They're telling us they want done a certain way. Try to do it the way that they want it done. But also follow the contract, know your rights, things of that sort. And that concludes my video for today. And I'm out. Peace.